the first time I'm doing that. I mean, I haven't done this in the
Okay.
past at all. So
Okay. So it'll be new for both of us.
yeah, exactly. Last time I want to do that, and then you tell me because this is the first time I do that. It. I am doing the. This is actually the first. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like it is working. Okay.
Good.
How do I do this? Uh, how do I share the link? Yeah, fortunately, we still have several minutes, so we can figure this out. How do I do this? Oh, share. Okay. Okay, so the YouTube link looks works.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, learning this new technology.
Yeah. On the fly.
Yeah, exactly. Let me see. I can talk. I can send the text, right? So the chat to everyone, just in case. Access through YouTube. We have opened the live stream there. Here is the link. Okay, so okay. So Phil, how's going there? You everything is fine. You stay at home.
Yes, so I'm working from home. I'm in Massachusetts. I'm in Holliston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
30 miles east of Worcester. So it's yeah, it's going well. Keeping quite busy, trying to convert the teaching that we do, in person to online. We've been creating a number of short videos on different topics that then faculty can grab them and use them, incorporate them into their online teaching. So it's good. I am in my basement den.
Yeah,
Have
I'm in my basement as
Yeah,
well.
my our dog would want me to be with her all day long. So if I come
Yeah.
down here and close the door, I get some privacy, and yeah, it's been working well.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
meeting with students virtually, we
Yeah.
have the IQP classes, the ID 2050 classes that we'll do a presentation on. And then we have the teams schedule a meeting with us afterwards. We can go into more detail on, their project and the research that they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
So we've been doing those virtually, and those seem to be going well too. So
Mhm.
yeah, so I think, generally it's going well for us. How about you?
Um. So I thought switching everything online will have us just slow down, but actually, I find out I'm become even more busy.
Yeah.
a lot of meetings with students and also the schools. Yeah.
And are you doing a mix of asynchronous and synchronous?
What do you mean?
So are you doing all live sessions like this, or do you have some, pre-recorded
Yeah,
kinds of
so
things?
typically I use Zoom and then
Hmm.
meet with students. Yeah, like that.
Hmm.
Communicate with email, and also there's apps called Slack. So we do text, video, all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Try and give them a variety of ways that you interact with them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Okay, so it is 12 o'clock. Let's wait 1 or 2 minutes and
Sure.
then we can get started.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I will probably talk just a couple minutes about
Sure.
the arrangement of the seminar, and then we can start there. Yeah. Hey, Danielle, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Yeah, I hear your baby crying.
Yep. He's a really good sleeper most of the time, but typically during calls, he likes to make his appearance.
Yeah, okay, okay, yeah. Everything's fine there? Stay at home?
Hey, buddy. You can bring him over. Oh, here he comes.
Okay, so I
Coming.
guess. Okay, hi everyone. I guess we can get it started. So today will be the second seminar of this D term. So you all know that we switch everything online. So today it is our great pleasure to have Waterman to give us a talk. So you all received the invitation online about today's talk content, all those things. So I do not need to talk all those again. So later we can have Phil to cover all these very important items. So there are something I want to talk about. The first thing is about the attendance. So there are quite some students check with me on the attendance. So similar to what we did last time. So I launched this poll, right? So this poll already started and it will at the end of the seminar. So this is only to track the attendance. So essentially, after we finish this seminar, I can go to the and get the attendance information out there. So if you have anything worry about that, don't worry. We have those there covered. Then another thing is about the schedule. So some students probably didn't see the schedule last time. So let me share my screen. So this is the schedule I have. So we have Professor Chris Brown to give a talk, and this is today's talk. And then Brown also want to give another talk. So I really appreciate that he offering to the second talk. So this is not canceled. Yeah. All right. And after that, so we have another talk by Professor Adam Poe, right, like that. So after that, we still have two empty spots. We haven't decided what to do. So there are some options. Probably we will have some faculty to give talks, or we can have students volunteering to these spots. So we haven't decided. So I will keep everyone updated through email. And after that will be last day of the D term. So we don't know what is happening. So let's play by ear. Okay. So that is the arrangement. Let me stop sharing. Right. Okay. And also, so if you check the chat window there, right? So I put uh, the YouTube live streaming there. So for some students probably have difficulty, because of internet something, probably the streaming is not good through Zoom. You can also check the YouTube live stream there, right? Okay, and for students who cannot come to the seminar, I will upload the content. So I did that for the last one. So for this one, I will do that too. Uh, um, so you can later go to Canvas and access to the whole seminar. That's uh, what I want to cover. And anything else? No. Okay. So with no further ado, let's welcome Phil to give us a talk. Yeah. So Phil, you can go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello. As he said, I'm Phil Waterman, and I'm one of the research and instruction librarians at the Gordon Library. And today I'm going to be showing you some advanced search strategies and search tips to make your searching and researching more efficient and effective. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we're going to go to some PowerPoint slides. Okay. So this is the class, and uh, this is my agenda. I'm going to do a quick introduction. Then I'm going to discuss what do you know about doing academic research? What do you want or need to know? Where do you find the information to answer these questions? Then I'm going to discuss and show some resources for researching. I'm going to demonstrate some searching with some of those advanced search tools, and then I'm going to have a little wrap up. So you have a research project now, or you're going to be having one. So how do you start your research? Asking questions. Identifying the questions you need to answer and where you can find those answers will bring focus to your searching and increase the effectiveness of your searching. So first, you want to take stock of what you already know about doing research. So right now, I want to tap into your prior knowledge and experiences in searching. So here's a question I'd like you to answer. This is Poll Everywhere, and you can see at the top the ways that you can get into the poll. So if you're texting, you can enter that information and answer the poll, or online, you can go into that site and answer. So the question is, what do you already know about doing research? What have you learned about doing academic research from your prior searching experiences? So I'm sure there's going to be a variety of levels. So if each of you could go on in and type in the response, we'll see what people have. So I'll give you a minute to do that. Okay. Doing experiments, good. Can be slow. Yes, research is a process. It takes time. Reading literature, yes. That's something, literature review is something that I'll be going over a little bit later on.
Ele mostrou reading literature.
Google Scholar, Gordon Library for literature searching, yes. Those are good sources. Someone needs to mute their microphone, please. Any other responses? Lots of literature search at front, yes. It's work. Yes, as I said, it's a process. I do it every day, and it's still a process. It takes time. It can be a meticulous process. WPI library website, yes, it's a good place. Okay, that's a difficult search results show up in different databases, Scholar versus Library Search or Scopes. Yes, you're getting different results in all of those different sources. I think library service. Okay. Okay, now that we've done that, what I want to ask you now is, what do you want or need to know? Think about the research that you're going to be doing. What do you want to know and need to know about that research? Sure, what prior research has been done, historical information results. Yeah, that's all important to know, because the research you're doing is building on what's already been done. Best sources of finding information. Definitely be going over that today. What else? Current people working on the same problem. And maybe you're not even sure what exactly that you need, which is just fine. Showing you where to search will help you solve that problem. Okay. So thank you for participating. And let me go on to the next slide. So where will you find this information? There are lots of different kinds of information that you're going to need. You're going to need things like materials properties, scholarly research, patents, standards, technical handbooks, chemical facts, lots of different varied sources of information. Where are you going to find all of this? Well, you're not going to find it in one source. One source is not going to give you all that information. You're going to have to look in a variety of sources. So to help you in those efforts and identifying which sources to use, I'll be going over some of that today. I'll also be pointing you to resources that address that need if we don't get to it today. And one of those resources that I'm going to be showing you is an online research guide I've created specifically for this course and its research requirements. So I'm going to go from here to, okay. So I think I need to stop sharing. I'm going to share the new screen. Okay, so everyone should be seeing now the homepage for the Gordon Library. So from here, I'm going to go to the research guide, And you can get to those under the search box is research guides list. And we have them organized by these different categories. Going to go to the course guides, and then you scroll down this long list till we get to the one for your class, MTE 580. And so here's the guide. Here's the online guide that I've created. All of these tabs over on the left, these are all the pages in the guide, and I'll be going over those shortly. So this guide is designed to be your one-stop information source for research in this course. I've pulled together all of my recommendations for the best places to get the information that you need on all of these topics, on literature review, databases, evaluating your sources. So this is a source that I highly recommend that you use to start your research, because all the elements that you're going to have to cover are addressed in this guide. And over on the left is one of the many ways that you can get a hold of me or my colleagues. If it says available, then that means one of us is staffing this, usually from 8 to 5. And if you have a question, just type it into the chat box and we'll see if we can answer your question that way live. And then down below are some additional research guides. I'll point out this one here, data management and record keeping. So if you are doing any research where you are generating data, then you need to know how to properly manage and organize that data, and how to properly keep records of the data that you've created. So this is a guide we have just about that. So if you are doing that, I highly recommend you take a look at that guide there. So let's look at some of the steps here. So the academic research process, this is a little overview of the steps that you want to follow when you're doing your research. Here are a couple of guides on how to read a scientific journal article, how scientific and scholarly journals are organized, because there is a certain organization to them, and you may not be familiar with it. So here are a couple of guides that show you, how to get a better understanding of that. Then there are a couple of handouts here helping you to generate keywords and synonyms to help you in your searching, what types of information you need, and then finally where you can find that information. Then we have search tips. So I'll spend a little time on this page, and then later on I'm going to do some demonstration searching and incorporating a lot of these tips. So top 10 search tips. I'll start with a shameless plug for myself and my colleagues. Ask a librarian. That's what we do. Searching and researching is what we do. So we can really help you in that area of your work. Next thing I'll point out are filters, and filters are elements that you can add to your search results to help narrow down your list and help to narrow it to a more relevant list of results. And you'll find these on the search results page of doing a library search or in one of our databases. And some of the more common filters that you'll see and that you might want to use is date. So you can narrow down the date range of your results. You can narrow it by the format if you're looking for books or journals. You can narrow it by type if you just want academic journals. And then another popular one is subject. This is one usually that students aren't as familiar with. And what subject is these are keywords and phrases found prominently in your search results. So by adding one of these keywords or phrases to your searching, it's going to narrow that list down, and it's going to narrow it to a list that's much more relevant to what you want. So always take a look at those and see what you might be able to add in. That's also a good place to identify other key concepts or synonyms that you might want to incorporate into your searching. Number 4 is full text finder icon. So when you do your searching, not all the results are going to link you to the full text. Oftentimes you might come to just a summary or an abstract of that article. So if you want to find that full text, what you want to do is you want to click on that full text finder icon. And what that does is it searches the 200 plus databases we have to see if that article is available full text elsewhere. And you're going to come up with one of two results when you do that. Either it will bring you right to the journal article, full text that I found elsewhere, or it's going to come to a screen that says that it's not available, order it through interlibrary loan. And interlibrary loan is the next search tip that I give to you. Don't know how many of you are familiar with interlibrary loan or have an interlibrary loan account, but it's a way for you to get full text of just about any journal article you want. We can get you full text of just about anything, so don't ever pay for an article. We're almost certain to be able to get it for you. You can also use interlibrary loan to get a book or a book chapter. To get an article sent to you, couple of days to a week. A book or a book chapter is going to take longer than that just because they're physically sending the material to you. And during this time that we're in with everyone doing things virtually, that's actually probably not an option right now because all the libraries are closed, but anything electronic we can get you. And to set up an account, if you don't have one, on the library's homepage, right under the search box, is a link to interlibrary loan. You click on that, go in, set up your account, and then you're good to go. So interlibrary loan is a great way to expand the universe of materials that's available to you. And if you're in a graduate program, a PhD program, you really need to make sure that you're surveying everything that's available on your topic. And so through interlibrary loan, you can do that. The next three tips: bibliographies. If you find a good article, always look at their bibliography, because if that article is good and relevant for you, maybe the sources that they cite are good and relevant for you. Cited by links. You usually see these in the database search results. So cited by are more recent articles that cite the one that you're looking at. So again, if the one that you're looking at is good, the ones citing it that are more recent might also be on topic for you. So always check those out. And then finally, related articles links. In the databases, when you get to the full text of an article, over in the right column, oftentimes more and more databases are doing this, is they're giving you recommended or related articles. So based on the article you're looking at and what it's about, it's showing you some others that are similar to that. So again, if the article you're looking at is good, looking at those related articles could be a quick way to get to more relevant results quickly. Then I want to scroll down. Over on the left is a quick tutorial, an introduction on how to search within the library's search box. Then there are some additional search tips here. So the first three are words that you can add into your search to narrow or broaden your search results. If you use "and," that means you want both of those terms included. So that's going to narrow your search results. If you use "or," then you're looking at synonyms, and it doesn't matter to you which one you find. In this case, beer or wine. So that's broadening your search. Not as sort of self-explanatory. The next one, quotations. This is one that I know students really find helpful to them. If you're searching for a phrase, in this case, social work, you want to put it in quotations. That's telling the database or the library search box to find those words as a phrase and not to find them individually, like social on page 1 and work on page 12 of a journal article, because that obviously isn't relevant to you and isn't on topic and is just cluttering up your search results. So if you have a term, put it in quotes like that, and you're going to get a much more on topic list. And then the last one, the asterisk, truncation is what us librarians call it. If you have a word that has many forms, so in this case, doctor, put in the root or the trunk of the word with the asterisk. Then in one search, you're going to get all forms of that word. So just a way to speed up your searching. So those are search tips. Then let's go to literature review. Don't know how many of you have done literature reviews before or what your experience level is, but this page will give you all the information that you need to understand what a literature review is and how to conduct one. So there's some brief information here. Here are some resources down here from other libraries that are some good guides and good directions on how to do literature reviews. We also have a couple of books here on doing literature reviews that you can take a look at. And then finally, there's this literature review handout that us librarians have created. And in this guide, we'll explain what a literature review is, how it differs from an academic research paper, what the purpose of a literature review is, and then how you would organize your review. So I think that's maybe like a 5-page guide. So that's a real good one just to get a familiarity with the literature reviews. Okay, now I'm going to go to top databases. So we have, as I said, over 200 databases. What I've done here is pull together the best ones for this course, the best ones for finding relevant, reliable information on materials science and engineering topics. So you can see the list here. I give a brief description of what you can find in some of those databases. And on the left are 2 short video tutorials that we've created. I think they're maybe 4 to 5 minutes long each, locating relevant databases at WPI and searching a database and retrieving full text articles. So if you like to watch a video to help you learn, here are a couple of good short videos for you to take a look at. So later on, I'm going to be demonstrating some searching. So I'll actually go into 1 or 2 of these databases. So evaluating sources. So we have some guidelines here for evaluating sources. So something to that I'll tell you as you're doing your searching. If you're going through the library's website, either using our search box or one of those databases, we librarians have already pre-screened those for you. We've looked to see if they contain relevant, reliable, current information for our students and faculty. And then if so, we subscribe to them. So we've already done a level of evaluation on those. So you don't have to worry about finding fake news or blatantly biased information in the places that you searching through the library website. But as we all know, that's not the same as if you were searching out on the internet. So here on this page are some good guidelines of questions that you want to be asking of what you're finding on the internet to see if this is a reliable source that you want to use in your research. We also have a short video over here again that goes over the evaluation process and what considerations you need to make during that process. So even though, as I said, the resources that you would find through the library's website already have a level of evaluation done to them, reliability doesn't necessarily equal relevance. So you still need to evaluate what you found. You need to evaluate the type of source it is and how relevant it is to your project. So you can use some of these guidelines to do that. The writing process. So here are some guides to writing, especially in your subject areas. Again, I don't know your familiarity level with doing this, so I've pulled together a number of different resources that can help you in that regard. How to write in the sciences, material science and engineering writing guides, writing a literature review in material science. We've got those guides. Over on the left, we have some books on writing, specifically on technical and science writing. And you can see them, and these are all online. And then there is a PowerPoint presentation from the OWL site from Purdue on writing engineering reports. So I think, again, if you need some better understanding of doing writing in this discipline, you've got a number of great resources to look at here to help you out with that. Okay, and then finally, there's a citation resources page. So citing your sources is critical for when you're doing research. You must document your sources if you're quoting directly from a source, if you're paraphrasing their ideas or information, meaning you're rewriting what they wrote into your own words, or if you're incorporating into your paper information or ideas that are not general knowledge. In all those instances, you have to document or cite where you got that information from. And documenting your sources, it demonstrates to your reader how your ideas stem from, differ from, or relate to what's already been written. It supports your ideas by showing the authorities in your field have similar ideas. It assists your reader who may want to take a look at your sources so now they can find them. And it shows that you're following intellectual honesty and doing your research properly, which leads right into avoiding plagiarism. This is a big concern and something that we all need to take seriously. Plagiarism is using the words, information, or ideas of another person without properly documenting them. There's a link to the WPI academic honesty policy here, and it clearly says that plagiarism, the misrepresentation of the work of another as your own, is an act of academic dishonesty. So this is a serious thing. No one wants to plagiarize either purposefully or unintentionally. So you really need to make sure that you're diligent in documenting your sources. And over on the left, we have some guides to properly documenting your sources in different styles. As it says, there's not one style that's used in material sciences and engineering fields. So I've given you a number of different references for different styles. So clicking on any of these will give you some guidelines on how to cite your sources in different disciplines. Then we also have a couple of videos on doing citations, and one specifically if you're going to be using IEEE citation style, here's a video on how to do that. And then finally we have citation managers. Not sure if you're familiar with them or used them before, but what they are programs that allow you to save all your citations in one place. And they also allow you to create bibliographies and in-text citations. So this is a great tool to use, especially you know, at the graduate and PhD level, where you're going to be collecting a lot of sources. You're going to be generating a lot of citations. So you really need to have a system in place to manage those efficiently. Here are a couple of them that are listed. RefWorks is one that's very popular with students. You can set up a free account, go through the library's homepage to get to it. You set up the account for free. Let's see if I go into it. And I think I might have to share that screen. So let's, okay. So you all should be seeing my ProQuest RefWorks screen. So when you import a citation into RefWorks, it'll be listed as you can see here. And if you click on the title, the citation pops up on the right. If you need to make any changes to it, you just hit the edit button, make your changes and save it, and it's updated. So you can organize all of these citations into different folders to again clarify where everything is, putting them in different folders. You could share it with you know, a colleague if you wanted to. And then up here, create the bibliography. So if you check off a few titles, you want to create your bibliography, and then create bibliography. So it's going to create a bibliography for you. Up here are different citation styles that you use. APA, MLA, IEEE is here. And so it's going to use whatever style that you chose to generate your citations. Hopefully it's going to do that for me. It looks like it's taking a little while. Gonna give it another minute. Maybe I'll try a different style. Okay, there we go. So here's your bibliography created in the style that you chose. Then you can take that, copy it to a clipboard and put it right into your report. So that's a very handy way to create your bibliography. So I'd highly recommend that you use one of these programs, whatever you're comfortable with. And as you'll see, as we do some searching, most search results, there'll be a link to cite this, and you can export that citation. RefWorks is usually always included in there, and some of those other citation managers might also be included. Okay. So, so those are all the elements of the guide. And now that we've looked at that, I want to do some searching and show you some of those strategies. So I'm going to share the screen again. I think I probably, okay, so you should be seeing I'm back into our research guide. Now, to do some searching, I could start from the library's homepage. Under that search box is a link to databases. You could click on that. We have them organized alphabetically by subject areas. You could do all of that. Since I'm in your guide and I want to show you how it works, I'm going to just go to the top databases slide. And let's see, what am I looking at here? Okay, so we're going to be doing some searching here, but I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint slides. I'm sorry, I jumped around. And so here we are in the PowerPoint slides. These I just put in here. This is a summary of those search tips that I went over with you. And here is a brief video. It's 3-ish minutes long. It gives you an introduction to how to search in the library search box, in case you're not familiar with that, or you just need a little refresher. So I'm going to play that for us.
The volume of the voice is very low, Vijay.
Is that better?
No.
Okay. So can you hear anything at all?
I can hear something, yeah, but the volume is very low.
Okay. All right. Do you think I should continue, or I can end this and we can just move on?
So probably later on we can provide a link of.
Okay. Okay. All right. Why don't we do that? Okay. Sorry about that. I turned the volume up as high as would go, and I hope that would solve that issue, but didn't. So we'll work on that later. Sorry about that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some database searching and show you some of those search tips that I was talking about. So I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to go back to the research guide. So just give me a second to share my screen. Okay. So here we are back at the research guide and the databases. I'm going to go into Engineering Village. Take a look at searching here. This is great database. It has lots and lots of sources and articles in here. It's really gives great coverage for the engineering field, sciences. So I'm going to search term thermoplastic polyurethane. Okay, so I have my term in there. I should have picked a shorter one, an easier one to type. Here's our searching. So our search results, we come up with about 6,500 records. And if we scroll down, the search results are in the middle. And as I said, on the left are filters. These are the filters that Engineering Village is using. By physical property is probably one that might be of real interest to all of you, filtering the results by physical properties such as size, temperature, pressure, and other things. So you could do that. Then if we scroll down, here are some of those other filters that I mentioned. You can limit it to just journal articles, dissertations, a number of different categories. Here's author. So if you've identified an author that's really prominent in your field, you can limit your searching to just that author. Controlled vocabulary. So this is what Engineering Village is calling subject terms. And if we click on view more, you can see there's a whole bunch of them in here. And you see the number, how you'll reduce that list by adding one of these terms in. So I'm going to add in thermoplastics and then injection molding. And then if I scroll on down, I'm going to limit it to that. So we had those, nearly 7,000 results. And now we have a more focused list of 735 results. So let's take a look at some of these results. So we look at this one, thermoplastic polyurethane composite solid propellant. So we have the title. We can look at a summary of that article, a little abstract, to decide whether this is one we want to follow through on or not. Then here's that cited by that I mentioned. So there are 4 other articles in this database that cite this one. So you might want to check those out. Then we also have the full text icon that I mentioned to you. The thing about Engineering Village is that, like I said, it has tons and tons of information in here. You're going to really get great coverage of a topic area, but they're all simply abstracts or summaries of the article. So in here, for all the articles, you're going to have to click full text finder. So if this was the article, let's take a look. And it's bringing me to the catalog. It's saying log in. So I'll do that. I'm now in, and it says request interlibrary loan. So I told you that was one of the 2 results you could get. So if you want that article and you request through interlibrary loan, you log into your account. And if you have an interlibrary loan account, when you click on that, as you can see, the form is already filled out with all the information that my colleague needs to find you that article. So you don't have to worry about what information you're putting in there and if you put everything in right. If you have an account set up, when you click on that request through interlibrary loan, it's going to give you all that information. So you hit submit request. That goes to my colleague. She finds a school that has it full text. They'll send the PDF version of it to you, and it'll go right into your interlibrary loan account. You'll get an email that it's there. Like I said, that takes a few days to maybe a week to do that. Books are going to take longer. But that's how you can get that article full text. So now I'm going to go back to Engineering Village results here. And if we look at another one of the results, this one here, thermal characterization, click on full text finder. And I think that I need to think I need to share this screen with you. So if I share that screen, so in this case, this article was available full text elsewhere, and it brought us right to it. So here's the article. Download the PDF link up here, and then some of those additional search tips that I mentioned over on the left. You're usually going to find links to different parts of the journal article. Here's the link to their references that you can click on right there. And then one of those other tips I talked about, recommended articles, you find over on the right. So again, these are articles that are similar to the topic that your main article is on. And I think, as I said a number of times, could be a quick way to get to more relevant results. And then also this page has a link to the citing articles. So I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. So if you give me a moment, I'll switch screens. So let me share screens, and we get to the screen. Here we go. Okay, so so that's what I had to cover today, and I can take questions now, any questions that you have. I'd also ask you, as you can see on your screen, there's a link to a 5-question survey that I'd ask you to take a couple of minutes right now to fill out for me. Let me copy this link and see if I can put it into our LibGuide. Let's see. Let's find a Zoom meeting. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you can, Phil, you can put in the chat, right?
Yes, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Let me get into the into our meeting.
Okay, so before we get into these Q&A sessions, for some students who have difficulty to see the poll, you should either see that at the bottom of this Zoom window, right? If you still cannot see, you can log out and then log in, and then you should be able to see that. I already see 24 students already attended the poll. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So there's the URL. Oops. I need to put it. There needs to be at HTTPS. Is what it's supposed to be. I'm sorry. So there. I think that second one has the S on it. So I appreciate you following along with me. And as I said, if you have any questions right now, you can ask them. I can put the PowerPoint slides that I had, I could put them to your Canvas site if you have a Canvas site. And then there's that research guide, that you could access through the library's homepage. So from here, I would suggest take a look at that guide, get a little more familiar with it, maybe watch some of those videos that are included in the guide, then either start or continue your research using some of the tips and strategies I covered today. And then also you can make an appointment to meet with myself or one of my colleagues virtually, and we can go over your search results, can give you some guidance on additional search strategies or sources to use, and we can also review citations that you're putting together. So do take advantage of us. Like I said, we're searching and researching is what we do. So we want to share that expertise with you to help make your researching as effective as possible.
Very much, Phil. For students, because most of students got muted, So if you want to ask questions, you can raise your hand. There is a button there, raise your hand, or you click a yes or no something. As long as I see that, I will unmute you, right? So before the students ask question, I have a question.
Sure.
About the reference, those managers like RefWorks.
Yes.
So you didn't mention about the end. What's the service of the EndNote? Can you update on that?
EndNote, I didn't include on that list because due to budgetary issues, we're going to have to end our subscription to that in the near future. So I didn't want to have people getting used to using that and then having the service go away. So I didn't have that listed there in this presentation. So I put ones that are going to be available in in the future for us. If that's something that you use, you can always contact one of us in the library, and we can talk more, about that transition.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see. Yeah, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it looks like EndNote charge us a lot.
Yes, yeah, it's they're expensive, and so and I'm not sure if the price was going up or if it's just due to the budgetary issues. Things go up in price for us, and our situation is unique in the academic world, where we subscribe to products like that, and all of these databases and journals and things, and every year those prices go up. So even if we get the same amount of money we got last year, we have a certain part of our budget that's increased, and we have to find that money somewhere. So it gets challenging, but we're always focused on what's most important for our students and our faculty, and preserving as much of that as we can, and identifying other things that if we have to, we can maybe let go for a while, but we're very focused on making sure that we continue to have the resources that our students and faculty need.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
So for the students, any questions, please raise your hand, give me a signal, and then I unmute you. So it looks like everyone is fine.
It's good. Okay.
Yeah. So this is a well accepted. Oh, okay. So let me see. Zhao
Actually,
Long.
I'm unmuted, right? Yeah. Hi, Mr. Waterman. Actually, I have a question.
Sure.
You mentioned a lot about the references we have in the library, such as we can access to ScienceDirect and everything. But sometimes when I was doing research, I noticed some of the sources is not available to WPI, such as some papers on ResearchGate, some paper on IEEE. So if I come across some paper I'm really interested about, but it's not provided by WPI, is there any way I can request for WPI either purchase it or some kind of thing like that?
Sure. So if it's a journal article, like I said, we can get you just about anything. So depending on how you came across this article, if there's no kind of a link to find it full text, what you would do is take the name of the journal, or the journal article title, cut and paste it into the library search box and search. And so if we have that journal, then you're going to get the results. If not, it's going to give you that request through interlibrary loan, and then you can use that process, and we can get that article for you.
Yeah, the case I was talking about is not in our database at all.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here is another question.
Yeah. So in that case, then you would just you'd want to fill out that ILL request, that interlibrary loan request, and we'll see about getting it for you.
Yeah. Sometimes this is just a unique case that sometimes when I was looking at a market research paper, those kind of papers could be very, very expensive, such as $5,000 per copy. Yes. So is there any kind of limits of like, I mean, price-wise, or when we request the paper on WPI library or something?
Yeah, those research papers are very, very expensive. They're a great source. They have great information in them, but they're really very expensive. We have some databases that you can search in to see if you can find something similar to them. We have some statistical databases that have industry reports, and you can search for them to see if you can find something similar. Because there are so many of them out there and they are so expensive, we can't go around buying all of them. We'd use up our budget too quickly. So that's why we have some of these other sources, and you can search in them to see if you can find an industry report that's going to be similar to the one that you're looking at. And we have our databases organized by discipline, by academic area. So if you went into our database list from the library homepage and find the academic discipline that you're looking in, and then it'll give you some databases to look in to see if you can find those kinds of reports. Or we also have the databases listed by type. So if you clicked on that, you'd see that we have ones for data and statistics. So you could click on that, and those would be the databases specifically for statistics. So you could go into one of those and put in the industry that you're looking at, and seeing if one of those places has an industry report that would be on topic for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, I guess that's it for today because of the time limit.
Sure.
Yeah. So, Phil, yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate refreshing all the informations that some of them I already got rusted a little bit. So thanks a lot.
You're very welcome. And in that survey, if you took it, if you did have additional questions, I will follow up with you on those. So thank you very much for having me. I hope this was helpful to you, and don't hesitate to contact me or my colleagues as you're doing your research so that we can assist you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that is great.
Okay,
yeah, thank you.
I'm going to leave now. Thanks. Have a great day.
All right. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.